Hello, my name is Nicole Johnson, and today we are going to be talking about the Diabetes Prevention Program and the business case, why this makes economic sense for organizations and for institutions that might want to implement this program, why it also makes sense for employers, and why there's a huge return on investment for a very small amount of dollars to operate the program or the initial program costs. I'm going to walk you through some steps, but let me begin at the beginning. All of our information started with research. We did a formative research project in the state of Florida that investigated what people thought about the Diabetes Prevention Program. Everybody from healthcare providers to employers to payers to patients who both were involved and might potentially be involved one day. From that information that we gathered, we developed some strategies that I want to share with you today. We must start though with why is it so hard to sell a program that we know works? Why is it so hard to share what we know to be an almost magic formula for preventing diabetes? Well, there are three conclusions that we came up with. One, motivation, time, energy, information, and organizational support. All of those are crucial for moving forward and determining if your organization or if you are ready to lead a diabetes prevention program. The second thing, communication. Honestly, it's having a big enough why to justify the how or the effort that must go into operating a program like the Diabetes Prevention Program. Do you have a vision that matches where this program could go for the people that you serve and for the organization that you're a part of? And finally, the value proposition. It's knowing the return on investment, knowing the numbers, and being able to sell the opportunity of this program to those around you, both in potentially your institution, but then also in your community and to the payers that represent the individuals that could be and hopefully will be involved in your program. We learned from our research and through some of our specialty techniques that one approach to achieving what you want to achieve with the Diabetes Prevention Program is applying social marketing techniques. These are techniques that are business techniques applied to behavior change and health programming. And that's what we did as we took the results from our research into an implementation phase. So I want to share a little bit with you about what is social marketing. Social marketing is all wrapped around, this concept is wrapped around behavior change, but we want to focus on the 4 P's of social marketing. Those are product, price, place, and promotion. So I've given you a little bit of a description here of what each one of those represents. Product, what are you selling? What are you promoting? What is it that you hope is going to be adopted in your community or amongst the people that you care about? Price, what is the price of not buying or of participating in a program or the product that you're hoping to promote? So what are the prices to the organization? What are the prices to the participant and to all the other people who touch this topic around you? Place, that's how will the product reach the customer? Where are you going to operate? What is the value that is placed on this product? And then finally, the fun part, honestly, it's how are you going to share this product with others? How are you going to promote it? How are you going to market it? How are you going to sell what it is that you're hoping that other people will adopt as a behavior? So social marketing, part of our strategy with this is framing out the business case and the return on investment for all populations, for healthcare professionals, because we want healthcare professionals to screen people to determine if they have prediabetes or diabetes. We want them to refer those that do have prediabetes to a diabetes prevention program. We want them to refer those that have diabetes to an appropriate diabetes education program. We also want our colleagues in the business environment throughout our area to implement or to execute these diabetes prevention programs in their communities or in their workplaces. We want them to see the value of providing health programming to their customers or their participants, their workers in their organization. And then for individuals, community members, patients maybe, if you want to call them that, we want them to see the value of small steps reaping big rewards in their life. We want them to gain confidence. We want them to feel empowered to move forward and change their life for the better. And we want them to know that they have a friend and a trusted colleague coming alongside them as a coach, if you will, to help them make these necessary changes so that they can improve their lives and prevent diabetes. So all of these interests, these are our populations that we were most interested in from our research and why we developed our specific business plan around how to make the diabetes prevention program work for us and work for other leaders in the state of Florida. Our business plan is actually the establishment of our vision for the diabetes prevention program in our community and beyond. And so what we've written here are the questions that we asked ourselves about this program. Were we ready to offer this program? And when we answered yes, that we were ready and that we believed in the elements of the program, what would signify success for us? We also asked, how are we going to operate the program? Are we going to operate it in our institution? Are we going to operate it in our medical clinics? Is it going to be in the community? Who's going to pay for this program? There are some costs involved. That's that price factor that I mentioned from the social marketing framework. But were we going to charge participants for being involved in the program? We also worked on, are we going to incentivize participants for being a part of this program? How are we going to keep them interested and engaged? Because this is a year-long process with the individuals who agreed to be a part of it. We asked where and when will the program operate? How will we market the program? Because that's a gigantic effort. How are we going to let people know about this wonderful resource that we're going to provide to them? And how are we going to entice them enough so that they want to be a part? And then what marketing restrictions might our organization have that we need to be aware of? What logo restrictions exist? What can we say? What can we not say? All of these are questions that you need to ask yourself as you develop a business plan for operating the diabetes prevention program in your community or in your institution. And then finally, are there any potential threats to our program success? That's an interesting question to ask, and one only you can answer, but I will give you insight into our answer to that question. It's a year-long program, and people get exhausted after a year's worth of effort. So we planned from the beginning, how are we going to insulate from participant exhaustion and also from organizational exhaustion? And we have some tips that we're going to share with you later on in this program about that. So initially, our business case document for the program began, it was 15 pages in length. Well, that's not a reasonable length to provide to any organizational leadership or people that you need to receive approval from to operate a program. And so we went through much painstaking process, or we took great care to reduce the volume of the business case of this document. We whittled it down to the important figures that communicate the return on investment. And here's the biggie. The return on investment over a 10-year period of time for each individual who does not move from prediabetes to a diagnosis of diabetes. For each individual, it is $55,000. That became our main selling point for this program. And that is your main selling point as well. Institutions, employers, organizations that pay for health benefits or health insurance for individuals who are living with prediabetes. If those individuals participate in this program, the return on investment in a 10-year period of time is potentially $55,000 per individual. The annual cost of an employee who lives with diabetes is $13,700. And we know that of those individuals who have prediabetes, there is a 10% conversion rate to a diagnosis of diabetes annually. These are the key facts and figures that communicate the return on investment and why the diabetes prevention program is so very important. These have become the core of our business plan and our social marketing plan for the promotion of this program. So the product of the diabetes prevention program, to go back to our 4 Ps in social marketing, is the value that this is proven scientifically to work. It has a high level of effectiveness in the general population. This was validated by multiple research studies all over the world, honestly. And what has been proven and validated time and time again is that individuals who participate in this program and follow the guidelines within the program, that is losing 5 to 7% of their body weight and exercising or increasing their physical activity to about 30 minutes per day, they can reduce their risk of the development of type 2 diabetes by 58%. So that is the product. That is the evidence that is so very powerful. And that is a message that you want to move forward in your organization and to the leadership in your organization of why this is necessary and important. Then you back it up by that return on investment information that was just shared. The economics, the facts and figures, the cost savings for organizations. This is a powerful story that we all believe in, but we must be responsive to how people absorb and understand this message. Many people in the business universe have questions about what these facts and figures mean and what does a 58% risk reduction mean realistically for them. That's when you go back to that conversion rate of the movement of an individual with prediabetes to a diagnosis of diabetes. The conversion rate is 10% of their population that have prediabetes to diabetes on an annual basis. For the purpose of business leaders, they need to be reminded often about the financial impact of not doing something about prediabetes within their workforce. Again, this is a proven initiative that's been proven over a long period of time. You will see by our graphic here that 29 million people live with diabetes right now. That is the tip of the iceberg. The underneath, the looming threat is that 86 million individuals who are living with prediabetes. You'll see we're back to return on investment here with this slide, because that's what's important to business leaders throughout our society as they think about programs to implement in the workplace or within their communities. What I will point to on this slide, and this information is from a business case document, which is available on a website that's www.fldiabetesprevention.com. But what I'll point to is the longitudinal effect of the diabetes prevention program. And that's in the far top corner. And what it says is even after 10 years, 34% of individuals that had participated in the program had a lower rate of movement to a diagnosis of diabetes. And even so, 40% of individuals who had participated in the program maintained their weight loss. These are incredible statistics that are incredibly valuable as you make your argument to those whom you want to adopt this program. The YMCA, who has been a leader in the diabetes prevention program nationwide, their data is as compelling. It says that 93% of individuals who participated in their programs continued to reduce their portion sizes at every meal. 86% increased their physical activity, and 91% of individuals reported improved health after participating in the program. All of these mean to employers, to business leaders, to HR professionals, and to payers cost savings. The other thing that I'll point out on this graphic is the cost of the program. So it's estimated that the cost of the diabetes prevention program is about $500 per individual that participates. The cost to the employer of the individual developing diabetes, however, is $13,700 a year. That is the average cost of an individual living with diabetes to an employer. So the economics make complete sense when laid out like this. So in conclusion, as it relates to the business case for the diabetes prevention program, the real question is, what are the dramatic costs to an employer, to an institution, to an organization for not doing something about prediabetes? The diabetes prevention program is a low-cost option with high rewards or high yields to the organization, and most importantly, to the individual who participates. 20 to 30% of the average workforce is eligible to participate in this program. That is a small cost compared to what will happen with that 20 to 30% of the workforce in the coming years as they get closer and move to conversion of living with type 2 diabetes. So the final piece of the social marketing effort is the promotion. I said at the beginning, this is the fun part, shouting about the value of the program, offering the opportunity to individuals to be involved, to participate, to see lifestyle change for the people that they care about. So what you see here is the last part of our social marketing plan. It's the promotion of the program, the shouting about the good things that can happen, and why in this advertising campaign, diabetes prevention is good for business. The return on investment is spelled out here in this advertising element. You see the dollars and cents and why it makes economic sense for employers and organizations to participate. We caution individuals who are promoting their programs to make sure that you understand all sides of the arguments, both for and against the inclusion of behavioral programs. But with this kind of information about this kind of program that is low investment but high reward, we think you can't help but succeed. So your final reminder when thinking about the business case for your diabetes prevention program, start with a strategy or a business plan. Determine your vision for your program and work through those questions that I provided at the beginning of this talk. They will help you determine your why, your what, your how, and then your purpose and your messaging for taking your plan to your leadership and other champions in your community. The second part, remember those 4 P's of social marketing. Those 4 P's will be your guide to creating a plan to help shout about the benefits of this program to all those you need to reach.